Hi, can I ask you a question? When you go through difficulties and hardships and challenges in your life, do you view these things as obstacles or as opportunities? Today, I'm going to talk about opportunities and obstacles and how we often perceive one or the other based on our mindset, our beliefs, and our expectation. There was a story about a man on a flight. He was in the center seat, and to pass the time, he struck up a conversation with the man on his left. He said, "How's business?" He said, "Business is terrible. You see, I'm a realtor, and in my town, the plant is on strike. Nobody has any money. Nobody's buying any houses. I can't get anything going. I'm probably going to have my worst year ever in the real estate business." And the man in the center seat said, "Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. I hope things get better for you." And then he turned to the man on his right and he said, "How's business?" And he said, "Business is great. In my town, the plant is on strike. Everybody knows that the strike will end eventually. Everybody has time to look at houses. I've been showing houses like crazy. I have all these deals lined up that as soon as the strike is over, I'm going to close these deals. People are going to go back to work. They're going to have the cash and they're going to buy these houses. It's probably going to be my best year ever in the real estate business." Two individuals, same circumstances, two very different outcomes. How can that be? You've probably heard the saying, attitude is altitude. Life tends to give us what we expect. Are we going to perceive our challenges and difficulties as obstacles or as opportunities? I have another story for you that illustrates the same point. The children of Israel had escaped from Egypt and their bondage. They'd arrived at the promised land. Moses selected 12 spies, one from each tribe, and he sent them into the promised land to check it out and see what they were going to be up against once they crossed the river. And the 12 spies came back after looking around. 10 of them said, "We can't take this land. The people that live there are giants. They look at us like grasshoppers, and we look the same in our own eyes." But the other two saw the same thing, saw the same giants, experienced the same obstacles that the first 10 had, but they had a very different story. Joshua and Caleb said, "Yeah, there are giants over there, but God's promised us this land, and God is on our side, and we will prevail. And besides, it is a land flowing with milk and honey, and there are bunches of grapes there that are so large it takes two men with a pole on their shoulders between them to carry one bunch of grapes. Let's go in and take the land that God has promised us." Well, the 10 convinced the people that their view was correct. And so the children of Israel spent the next 40 years wandering in the wilderness. Joshua became the next leader after Moses died. And Caleb, years later, the story is written that Caleb was 85 years old, but yet he was still just as strong as all the young men. And he attributed this strength to the fact that he viewed hardships and he viewed difficulties as bread. They were food to him. His challenges and his hardships were food that made him strong. And I submit to you that that attitude of looking at your difficulties as opportunities will change your life. It will make you realize that those things which are challenging and are difficult will, if you allow them to, will make you stronger. So the next time that you have a bad day, the next time that life gives you a setback, stop for a minute and say, do I perceive this as an obstacle, or can I turn it into an opportunity? Thank you for watching.